What's up everyone, Steven here from Leadjetty.com. In this video I want to show you how you can work with color and layout in your Leadjetty flows. In one of our last videos we looked at how to set up a high converting lead magnet form, and this is that flow here. So if you haven't watched that video, you don't have to, but it will maybe make more sense if you do first, so I'll put a link down in the description. To get started, let's remind ourselves what this looks like. So we'll click this preview button up here and this will open this up. So we looked yesterday at how to do this split layout where you have an image on the left and text and inputs on the right, and how you could reverse the sides and so on and so forth. In this video we're going to take a look at more about the spacing and the colors here. So let's go back over to our other tab, and at the top you'll see Edit Variant Name and Colors. If any of these button titles change, it should be something similar in the future if you're watching this later. So we'll click that button. And over on this screen, you'll see a bunch of stuff. And so this is a new feature we just put out. And so there's a mobile and a desktop preview. Now this isn't your content here, it's just filler content. You can actually scroll inside of this, kind of simulate a phone. So what we want to do is we can change the color by clicking this and then just click and drag anywhere, and you'll see that it updates on the right side of the screen. And you'll notice that as you pick certain colors, like this is a very bright color we have here, the design gets a little bit washed out. And so we have a couple of hints here. Use the up and down arrows on your keyboard, and then use lower contrast for brighter color schemes and 10 for the darkest. So if we bring this down, you'll see that as we go down, the colors become a little bit more readable. Now obviously some colors are just gonna wash out because they're really too bright, but we can play around with these things and kind of get something in a good zone here. So, you know, like that's a little bit more readable. So just to try to get something that looks decent over here, I'm going to click back on this other tab and kind of look at this image. So you've got this orangey kind of tone, and then you have this sort of dark teal. So I'm going to try the dark teal a little bit for a second, and you'll see why in a minute. So let's kind of go in here maybe, and then down. I'm gonna have to click back and forth a few times. It's a little more green, I think. Something like that maybe. Okay, and then kind of darken it up. And then over here, let's kind of bring this up. I do want to have a little bit of a background color, but I'm not sure exactly how much. Maybe like that would be good, 3. Okay, so let's update that. And let's come back over here and refresh and see what it looks like. See how close I got. It's okay. It's not terrible. So now what you can see is that this kind of creates a little bit more of a defined area around our opt-in. So if somebody's scrolling through your post and they see this, this is going to be call their attention out a little bit more than if you just had this on a white background. So that's the color. Let me just do one quick change over here again so we can get here by clicking edit there. I'm going to bring this down one or up one more, I think. Let me try that with the just slightly more faint color. See what that looks like. I'm not sure which one I like better. It's kind of fine either way. That's a little more modern to have that kind of very light contrast here. Okay, so in any case, the next thing we might want to play with is the spacing. So you see how far this is from the edge of the box? Let's look at it on mobile. So I have a mobile simulator here. So you can see here on mobile it's pretty squeezed in. It's got quite a bit of room. So that's why we added this padding section. So if we edit this one more time, you'll see over here on the right we're sort of basically simulating exactly what it's going to look like there. So we can bring this down. Again, you can use your arrows on your keyboard. I don't know, maybe 2 is good on mobile, and then on desktop maybe a little bit more actually. Let's see what that looks like. So let's save that and let's come back and just kind of check it out here. So that's a little bit more natural. You know, it's going a little bit closer to the edges. If we had a white background, I would probably go even more. One thing we might want to add as a feature is the ability to have different colors on different devices maybe. That could be interesting. But in any case, now let's look at what it looks like on desktop. Now it's a little bit more squeezed in. So that's the gist. Once you combine the color with the ability to sort of play around with the fonts and text and so on. You end up with, it's fairly customizable. Obviously it's not the most customizable thing in the world. It's pretty simple, but hopefully that gives you a good idea of what all you can play with and things you can tweak and move around. So I think that's it for this video. In the next video we're going to dive into split testing and put all of this together to show you how you can actually really drive up your conversion rate.